Hey there, it's Kate, and thank you so much for joining me for today's budget video, where today I will be setting up my June monthly budget and doing my estimated monthly budget and my bi-weekly paycheck budgets with you guys here today. But as always, before I get started, just a huge thank you to my returning subscribers. Thank you guys for joining me again today. And if you're new to my channel, I would love to see you follow me on my journey by subscribing down below, and also hit the notification bell so that you do get notified when I upload. And without further ado, let's hop right into this budget. So here I am, I'm opened up to June, and I'm going to flip through my budget book for this month really quick for you guys. And if you're interested in my budget books or just the paycheck sheets, they are available in my Etsy shop for this month, and I will have them linked down below in the comment. But here is the double fold calendar, which I prefer to use. And then there's a dashboard here that's similar to the Erin Condren. And then my sinking funds and cash envelopes page, which I kept, although I am going to be going cashless now, so I will not be filling out this section for the cash envelopes. There's my transaction log, and a new page that I added is a weekly check-in page. So that's what I'll be filling out instead of the cash envelope section in my budgets, and the debt tracker as always. And then I have my monthly budget, paycheck 1 and paycheck 2, because I'm accounting for 2 paychecks and I get paid bi-weekly. But the book does have paychecks 1 through 5 and a blank sheet too for if you get more than 5 paychecks. So the first thing I'm going to do is set up my calendar spread, and I'm going to do a little bit of deco stickers. There's some rainbows in this Brights mega book that I want to use. So let me find them. Where are they? I know they're like towards the middle of this side. Yeah, here they are. So there's clear and paper. I'm thinking I want to do paper. And I'm probably gonna cut this one. Yeah. And then if I just fill in the line kind of like that, it might look like it's all one thing. It doesn't look terrible. All right, I'll live with that. And then up here, I guess I might fill in with just this big rainbow here, or a quote. Alright, so I've just added a few additional stickers, just a couple of quotes that are rainbow and that are very positive and uplifting messages for me to continue the month with, and just a little rainbow deco for my notes section. I am going to add some trackers into my notes, just like for color coding. Like I'm gonna add one strip of each color and then denote what that color will represent in my spending. Alright, so I've got my strips down, and so yellow is gonna be gas, green is gonna be allowance, red is gonna be food, and food is going to contain grocery and eating out. And I had previously had those categories separated in my variable spending, but I am just going to combine them into one big category and see how I fare with it for now, because I'm just trying to simplify my budget a little bit. And then the blue is going to be for pets. And I do have another variable category, which is laundry, but my laundry card can only be filled with cash. So unfortunately, that has to be a cash expense. I cannot go cashless with that. Fortunately, the sticker book has laundry icons, and so I'm just gonna snag, I don't have orange in here, so I will snag orange. And then I'll just be able to denote the amount that I put on my laundry card this month after I go through my monthly budgets. And for the month of June, I am accounting for 2 paychecks here. And the first one I already received on May 26th, which I'm counting towards a June income. And there's no May 26th on here because we already passed it. So I'm just gonna tuck it up on the first. And the second paycheck would be the 9th. I'm gonna push it to the 11th. This would also mean that I would be getting technically a third paycheck on the 23rd, which I could push to the 25th, but I will be counting that towards July instead. So for now, I'm like almost a half month ahead based on my pay schedule. I'm just trying to time a golden month, like a 3 paycheck month right now. So for now, I'm just going to be counting these 2 paychecks. And for fixed expenses, first I have my Spotify, and I have the student discount on it, so it's only $5. And then I have my Sprint phone bill, which is going to be my regular $36, but then in July, because I'm going to be adding my iPad to the account, it is going to go up in price. I'm kind of, in a weird way, looking forward to it just because I don't even have an internet service. I just hotspot off my phone, which is why you don't see me having an internet bill. But the iPad is a 5G iPad, so it would just make sense to pay the $15 for the unlimited and then not have to worry about draining my hotspot on my new iPad since it's consumes so much more data than my old one. So Sprint bill, low for now, is gonna go up. Safeco is my car insurance, which is on auto pay for approximately $190. And then I have tuition, which is on auto pay for $50. And then I have my Adobe Creative Cloud. This is on auto pay for $16. And then I'll have my rent and utilities, which is due by the end of the month, and that is a variable amount typically, so I'm going to leave that one blank. So Spotify on the 1st, Sprint on the 10th, Safeco on the 13th, tuition on the 15th, Adobe on the 26th, and rent and utilities on the last day of the month. So that's going to conclude the calendar setup portion of my budget setup. So let's go ahead and move on to, the monthly budget. Opened up so quick to it. And I'm actually going to fold the notebook over and zoom in for you guys so that we can get a better look. Now for June, I'm only going to be budgeting in income from my regular full-time job. So, and this is going to be an estimated budget so far, and then as I move along, I will add my actual numbers in my paycheck budget videos. So for the month of June, I think it's going to be, I'm thinking it's going to be lower than I have been receiving. Because I'm actually on PTO this week, so I'm not traveling. So I'm going to go with $2,200. That'll be $1,100 a paycheck. I think that's on the safe side. It's always better to budget under than budget over, in my experience anyway. So we're gonna budget under for $2,200, and the first thing that I take account for is my fixed expenses, which is what I just placed on my calendar. So my Spotify, Sprint, Safeco, my tuition, Adobe, and then my rent and utilities. And I've explained this before, but I'll explain it again if you're new. I know my rent is variable, but I still count it as a fixed expense because it's still technically due at the end of the month regularly. So that's why I put it like that. And let's see, Spotify is $5, Sprint is $36, Safeco is $190, tuition is $50, Adobe is $16. And then for rent and utilities, I'm gonna go with $875. I think that's pretty safe. So let me grab my calculator and we can go ahead and total these up. So we get $1172. And if we subtract that from 2200, that leaves $1028. So based off this budget, my fixed expenses are taking up a little over half of my income. So it's a little tighter than normal, I think, but it's okay. I should be able to make it work with my goals. So moving to variable, so we have $1028. And then I have for variable, I have allowance, I have my food, gas, laundry, and pets. So I'm actually going to start with my food figure here, because this is now taking the place of grocery and eating out combined. So I'm going to do 300 on that. And then, okay, so 1,000 minus 3 is 7, but I want to try and leave a good amount of room for a debt payment. So I'm going to have to tighten the other ones. I'm gonna put 40 for laundry. I did 20 for last month, and that's basically like a load a week. That only gets my work clothes done. So I do need to up the laundry for this month. Gas, I should do good with 60. Because I am going to New York for a week, so I won't have my car. So 60 should be good for the month. Pet can also be low this month because I'm only going to need litter and dry food. So I'll put 60. And then for allowance, I don't want to put it too low because I am going to New York, so I might want to get myself something. So I'll put 60. That should be around the 500 mark. Because we have 60 plus 40 is 100, and then 60 plus 60 is 120. So we're at 220 plus 300 is 520. Yeah, so we're a little over. So we're about half of what I had. Okay, that works out. So that'll actually leave me with what, 508. 1028 minus 520. Yeah, 508. This is gonna seem kind of sad, but I did want to make about a $400 or $500 debt payment this month. So to do that, I won't be able to stuff my sinking funds, but it should be fine because I just bought a whole iPad. So let's just say $500 payment to Nelnet D is the loan that I'm on now. So this means we won't be budgeting anything for sinking funds, but if my income happens to be more than I budgeted for, then maybe I can squeeze something in. But for now, I'm just going to be taking this 508 and pulling it into an extra debt payment. And I think my pen is dying. I'm kind of sad. So now on that D, we'll just slap it all in there and we'll zero out the budget for there. So that also means no extra savings. But I think that's okay because I've done a lot of saving. I did a lot of saving recently for this iPad. So I'm okay with that. What I'm actually going to do is share with you guys how that'll break down between paycheck 1 and paycheck 2. So I'm going to take this out. And I'm going to have that on hand. Actually, I'm going to swap the place because I'm right-handed. So we're going to put paycheck 1 on the right, and I'm going to grab a different writing utensil too because this one's dying. Oh, it looks so cool. Okay, I did find this pen last week while I was cleaning out a bunch of my planner stuff, and I was thinking it actually looked like it matched my aquamarine that I made, and it totally does. So For paycheck one, actually what I literally used to do in my budgets, because I had so many bills and stuff, was I used to color code them by paycheck, and I don't do that anymore because I don't really need to. If you look at the monthly budget, you can clearly see that my biggest expense is rent. And so if I'm splitting things like half and half, right, I would have estimated $1,100, right? And I would need for my second paycheck probably to fit this one in. So the first paycheck will be everything else for my fixed expenses. Kind of makes sense, right? Hope you can follow along on that. So 1,100, and we're gonna pay Spotify, Sprint, Safeco, basically all the S bills, tuition, Adobe. Yeah, this is like all my auto pay bills actually. Rent is the only thing I don't have on auto pay because it's variable. So I want to see what I'm paying before I pay it, you know. So we have 5, 36, 190, 50, and 16. And well, we know that the monthly total was $1,172. So if we take out $875, $297 is what these will total up to be. So if we take the 1,100 minus the $297, we have $803, which is good because that'll suffice my monthly variable budget here. So I'm gonna take these entire budgeted amounts and I will budget them with the first paycheck here, so that up front I will have all of my variable expense funds for the month. So 803, and then allowance, food, gas, laundry, and pets. So we have 60, 40, 60, 360. So that's 520. And then 803 minus 520 is 277 or 287. Again, I think I've said this before, sevens really trip me up. I don't know what it is about the number 7. So it's 283. Anytime I think that there's a 7 involved, my brain just goes, nope, absolutely not. So again, we're not doing any sinking funds. Well, we're not budgeting for sinking funds. So this 283 will be the first payment onto Nelnet D for the month. And that zeroes out the budget and no extra savings. And then I just want to leave a note for myself, which is why I put this section in these budget sheets for Nelnet D. Monthly goal I'm going to put is we budgeted 508. So that's there for a reminder. And now let's hop into paycheck number 2, which is going to be really basic because, I mean, even this monthly budget is fairly basic. It's fixed expenses, variable expenses, and a debt payment. So we're going to have the work income again split in half, so 1,100. The only fixed expense that would be covered under this paycheck is rent and utilities for $875, but it is a big expense. So 1,100 minus 875 is what, 225? 225. And we don't need variable, or we won't budget for variable. I might need to budget for variable later on. But that's why I do these monthly estimated budgets, and then I go back when I get my actual paychecks and show you guys how I do budget them accurately. So no variable and no sinking. So that's going to be $225 for nil net D. To zero it out. And then $225. And then the first paycheck, what was the first paycheck? I gotta add them together just to make sure they do add up to 508, just to be sure. 285 plus 225. Yeah, because 5 plus 3 is 8, 8 plus 2 is 10, carry it. So we have 2 plus 2 plus 1 is 508, yeah. So that totally works out. So paycheck 2, estimated, paycheck 1, estimated, and the grand monthly estimated budget is finally complete. So if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you following me on my journey, and if you're not already subscribed, you should totally subscribe because it's free and it really helps me out. Also, leaving likes and comments on the video really helps me out too. And if you want to keep up with me in between videos, you can follow me on Instagram at KBudgetPlans. I did change my handle. It was Plan with K, and now it's KBudgetPlans, okay? Anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.